A New York Times article titled FBI Agent Who Tried to Investigate ICE Officer in Shooting Resigns.
Without objection.
Thank you.
The chair now recognizes the gentlelady from North Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Attorney General Bondi, I think you and pretty much everybody else here and throughout the country believe offenders don't deserve special treatment or privileges in prison. And yet, his co-conspirator received perk after perk in prison. In July, and President Trump's former defense attorney, Todd Blanche. Just days after that.
Welcome back once again. The persecution of Christians in this particular country called Nigeria is what is leading to this point at which Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been ordered that his government should do the needful. Remember that, Remo submitted a document overseeing and stating with evidences and facts, and as a matter of fact recommended that these are the measures that need to be taken so that Christians will not be persecuted, will not be slaughtered or probably invaded and chased out from their ancestral homes or probably in their worship centers. And on the contrary, the Islamic clerics came out recently to state and issue an order that the recommendation of Remo is not obtainable, that whatsoever that will lead to Sharia being removed in the constitution or whatsoever is what is going to lead to a split in this particular country. And this moves a long way to tell you that these Islamic clerics and this set of persons are the one engineering and buying this particular idea. And a lot of persons have reacted bitterly regarding their statement over the recommendation of Remo and the U.S. intervention to make sure Christians are well savaged instead of being massacred and slaughtered like chickens. And as we speak, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been ordered by a particular group who has come out to state clearly that if they don't want this thing to actually happen, then they should do this other way. I'm going to be showing you all in full context. Remember that amid all these things, Nnamdi Kanu is still in the correctional center in Sokoto, and ahead of his appeal that has now been stated to probably for the court to put a sitting on the match, which I'm going to be showing you all of that in full context. I'm going to be showing you what this particular group has actually ordered Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do. As a matter of fact and as a matter of urgency, they went as far as stating, remove Sharia from constitution or preside over Nigeria's breakup, group tells National Assembly. I'm going to be showing you all in full context, but before I do that, listen attentively to this particular video for you to hear clearly what Atiku Abubakar, the former presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, came out and stated regarding Nnamdi Kanu and the ideology and the IPOB and the rest.
The iPod issue in the southeast. The iPod issue in the southeast is basically, as far as my understanding is concerned, is about the realization of Biafra. Is it possible for Biafra to be realized today? How? By negotiations or by going through another civil war, which we can't afford to? So I believe we should be able to negotiate with the agitators from the southeast as far as the issue of Biafra is concerned. We believe what they need is more autonomy as far as their sub-region is concerned. That is why we propose restructuring of the country, by which we mean devolution of more powers and resources. After all, there was Eastern Nigeria in the First Republic, and they developed at their own pace and with their own resources. So I see no reason why a middle-of-the-road solution, in other words, restructuring, devolution of more powers and resources, should not be a solution to their various agitations. The agitations are in different perspectives, to my understanding. One of it is political, and political has the sense of how does the Southeast, participate in power sharing in the country. And we are in a democratic society. There is no one single geopolitical, zone in this country that on its own can achieve political power without crossing the Niger or being in alliance with other geopolitical zones. I think this is what they should begin to think. Okay, how do they partner with other parts of the country to secure political power for their own interests or to protect their own interests. I think these are the way to go as far as the agitations for IPOD is concerned.
Welcome back once again. I believe you've heard clearly from Atiku Abubakar. He made a lot of statements that are so significant, aligning with what Nnamdi Kanu has stated, time with that number, that this particular country need what we call restructuring. And as if that is not enough, the dissolution of authorities will actually help every sub-region to carry out the activities by themselves or probably report to the center. And that is the more reason why Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been ordered to actually consider the role of a regional rule. It is obvious that the ideology of these sub-regions are quite different in their beliefs, in their religion, and their ethnicity. So that is the more reason why Atiku Abubakar has backed on Nnamdi Kanu, stating clearly that negotiations could actually bring a way to the doorstep. Actually, it can go further by the restructuring and the autonomy of sub-regions. Moreover, in his exact words, that there was an eastern region, so why can't it also be obtainable? Now, as if that is not enough, immediately this was made as a statement. This particular group went as far as stating, as you could see on your screen, remove Sharia from constitution or preside over Nigerians breakup. I'm going to be showing you what the stated group tells National Assembly. I'm going to be showing you also in full context what the Islamic Council replied to this particular statement. Now, in full details of that particular communique by this particular group, they went further to rally around that, the ideology of everything is not working, so it is better this route is taken. In full context, an Igbo socio-cultural group, Ndi Igbo Worldwide Union, has issued a strong warning to the National Assembly demanding the removal of Sharia provisions from Nigeria's constitution or risks overseeing the eventual breakup of the country. The group declared that ongoing tensions surrounding Sharia criminal law have punished the country towards what is described as an existential national threat. Remember that this group is coming out after the recommendation of Remo and what is actually happening, the persecution the Christians are facing, and they went further through their press press secretary to make this particular declaration. Now, according to the group, recent opposition by Islamic authorities to calls for the repeal of Sharia criminal law has exposed deeper constitutional and political contradictions within the Nigerian state. In the exact word, they stated the recent pushback by Islamic authorities against Remo's call to repeal Sharia law exposes a bitter truth: the Nigerian state in its current configuration is no longer sustainable. And in furtherance, the organization maintained that the coexistence of dual legal systems undermines national unity, declaring that two legal codes cannot coexist in a serious modern nation. According to the statement, they went further to state that legislatures must decide whether to remove Sharia from the constitution and preserve peace, or ignore the writing on the wall and preside over a factual or a factor of the Nigerian state. This is exactly what they are stating, that the ideology is quite different. You are enshrining the Sharia law in the constitution of a country when this particular country is a country that coexists both Christians, Muslims, and other beliefs. So it is as if a belief is more than the other belief, and that is the more reason why you see these bandits, this series of attacks, especially on the Christendom, and it's uncalled for. Now, immediately this particular group made this statement, the Islamic Council went as far as making their own statement and even issuing it back to Remo, to the US government, as you could see on your screen. According to Vanguard newspaper, they stated that you can't stop Sharia practice in Nigeria. Islamic councils tell US lawmakers. A lot of persons are now so inquisitive and curious of knowing, okay, you people are saying that Sharia law cannot stop in this particular country. Okay, what are your reasons? Now, the Supreme Council of Sharia in Nigeria, being the SCSN, has rejected calls from US lawmakers to end the practice of Sharia law in the country, describing the proposal as misinformed and an attempt to undermine Nigerian sovereignty. According to them, they stated that Sharia operates alongside statutory and customary law in Nigeria, primarily in the 12 northern states where it was formally adopted as a main body of civic and criminal law in 1999. It provides a religious, moral, and legal framework for Muslim communities in the country. Now, according to their group, they stated that is a misinformation that should not ever be talked about or probably to be removed. According to them, they stated no power or authority can arrogantly make Muslims relinquish its practice in response to external pressure, misinformation, or political intimidation. The Council emphasized that Sharia in Nigeria is protected by the Constitution, which guarantees freedom of religion and allow adherents to manage personal and family matters according to their faith. The council also dismissed claims of a Christian genocide in the country. Are you seeing the type of statement these people are making? Saying the assertion misrepresents Nigerian security challenge, which include terrorism, banditry, organized crime, and governance gap. The government appears either indifferent or incapable of resolving the security problem, which had claimed the lives of Muslims and Christians alike. They are not centering it that it is not just the Christians that are being fired, but it is obvious that stories have it, not one, not two, that Christians are in their church worshiping their God and they are unalived. It happened in Benue, it happened in other places. Look at Yelewata. Everything is centering on the Christians. So that is the more reason why the US decided to step in. Now they are telling the US that under the recommendation clause of making Sharia law not to be enacted in the Constitution, that is non-avail. Now the Igbos are not replying, being the Ohanese Igbo and the other groups are actually stating that if you don't want, National Assembly, if you people don't want to remove the Sharia law enshrined in the Constitution as recommended by Remo in that particular clause, then look for a split, because that means the ideology we are talking about is not working out. The belief is not working out. The religion is quite different. So two co-body cannot coexist under the name of a particular country. These are the reasons at which what has led to reason why even Atiku Abubakar started making that statement clearly. That moreover, there is what we call an eastern country. So the autonomy of sub-region should be given. Restructuring should be enacted. Negotiations should come for Nnamdi Kanu and the rest of what is actually happening. Look at Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto prison, languishing, waiting for an appeal. But Sunday Igboho, who also seeks for Yoruba nation, is moving freely. Other persons have been moving freely, and bandits are unaliving a lot of persons. And now the US is intervening. These same Islamic clerics are backing this Sharia law. And one of the reasons why even the Remo and other persons looked at it on that Sharia law is that this Sharia law is what is giving these people the enablement to go and carry out these atrocities within and outside this particular country. Go to churches and unalive a lot of persons and do a lot of things and go scot-free. When you talk about it, they take them to Sharia law, and since it's enacted in the Constitution, they will be freed. Write on the comment section, I haven't seen exactly what has happened and how Atiku Abubakar has vindicated Nnamdi Kanu by the statement he made and everything that this group has stated. What is your take towards this particular view? Do you feel the Sharia law should be enacted in the Constitution, or do you feel removing it to be the best? So which of the groups are you supporting? Are you supporting the Igbo group that is stating that it should be removed, or are you supporting the Islamic clerics that are stating that it should not be removed? What is your take towards everything that has been discussed in this particular video? If this is your first time meeting this channel, do have to often hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and click on the like button so let's get information promptly when we drop them here.
The US Congress, one of the congressmen now raised this issue. He narrated the kind of injustice Nnamdi Kanu have suffered in the hands of Nigeria, as if the man is a Nigerian. So most of the times when you are talking, these people get information more than you. Let me just start by saying that Nnamdi Kanu has suffered the highest injustice any other person can suffer in the whole world, here in Nigeria, in his own country. One, he was enjoying his bail. Government, the prosecutor, who is prosecuting him, went to his house in Afaruku, unprovoked, and they killed 38 persons and left with 13 corpses as we speak. As we are talking about, as a result of that, he lost the parents. Now, as if that one is not enough, Nnamdi Kanu ran away and deposed affidavits from Israel. My Lord, I'm in Israel. Look at the circumstances that made me to run away. The affidavits, who have it, is in the court file. Please, if my Lord can guarantee my security, I will come back to face my trial. While that one was on, he was unlawfully brought back to Nigeria here. And the United Nations, through their special rapporteur, gave a decision saying that Nnamdi Kanu never is not a terrorist, Nnamdi Kanu never jumped bail, that as a matter of urgency, that Nigeria should release Nnamdi Kanu. They refused that judgment. Federal High Court in Umuahia look at all the whole matters we filed, and they said that Nnamdi Kanu should be released, and that federal government should pay Nnamdi Kanu 50 billion naira as we speak to you. I will speak to you. The federal government has not complied with that judgment. The same thing applied to Enugu High Court and what have you. I'm not talking about that of Kenya. Coming back to Nigeria here, we continue with the trial. Then Court of Appeal unanimously discharged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they said that no court should try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Federal government refused to comply with that order, and they kept Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unlawfully for 9 days before they now file what they call a motion for stay in a criminal matter, the first in history. Now, when they filed the motion for stay, the matter gets to Supreme Court. Supreme Court, in looking at all these things, Supreme Court made an decision. One, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never jumped bail. The court ought not have revoked his bail. And they condemned the attitude of military, sending Operation Python dance in his house and massacred many people there.
All right.
And they directed the Federal High Court. Let me finish. Let me make this submission. And they referred the matter back to Federal High Court to continue with the trial, with the intention that the matter will continue with the Honorable Justice Binta Nyako's court. So when we get there, Binta Nyako now recused himself. The matter now get back to Justice Omotosho. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took a fresh plea. That plea Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took before Justice Binta Nyako is no longer effective. He now took a plea, a fresh plea, in a fresh court, starting de novo.
Okay.
Now that was where the issue of repealed law comes in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much for breaking it down for us this morning. Now, you said as part of your statement that a significant number of people in the Southeast are sympathetic at best to the plight of Nnamdi Kanu. Now, in the interest of public peace and in the interest of national security, how should this matter be managed, pending when the next decision, whether to appeal or not, will be taken by Nnamdi Kanu? I say this because I believe that at the end of the day, what we want is to ensure that we don't further incite people to aggression or to violence, and that we are able to have some peace in the Southeast. Also, I'd like you to comment on the situation of the sit-at-home order. In terms of that regard, would you ask that people return, or we are hopeful that we will see an end to this Monday sit-at-home order in the Southeast?
Well, I want to start by saying that the issue of sit-at-home, some people took advantage of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's incommunicado and be issuing unnecessary order. When this issue started, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu personally sent me to Europe to go and talk to Simon Ekpa that he should stop this sit-at-home. I think either in this studio or in another studio, where we also issue that whatever thing that you are doing, Nnamdi Kanu is not a party to it. Lucky enough, one day, the DSSS allowed Nnamdi Kanu to speak from the court. Nnamdi Kanu also made it very clear to everybody. That one is on that. Now, back to your question. The best way to handle this thing is for Court of Appeal to set aside this most embarrassing judgment aside and allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to continue with his agitation. And let federal government now call him. My brother, why are you agitating? So that, one, because yesterday, in the judgment, you are comparing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's agitation with Boko Haram. Somebody that told you that, look at what I am fighting for. Look at what I'm fighting for. Instead of you to call the person, what is the problem? How do we feel that we can resolve this thing? You know, I'll tell you, this is what gave rise to this agitation, this is what gave rise to this agitation. Then you address it. The agitation will just die naturally. Now, why the judgment yesterday is because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo. Yes, it's because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo. You can't do it to any other tribe in Nigeria.
No, Maxwell.
I want to prove it. Yes, I want to prove it. I want to prove it.
No, I want to just say, wait, hold on. I want to say that it's important that we're able to not incite any form of aggression based on this assertion. So except you're able to prove beyond reasonable doubt, please don't make such assertion.
I beg, wetin I think about what the US want to do for our country. Make you share your thought at the comment section. Drop your opinion. Your opinion is really needed. And wetin I think about wetin Maxwell don't talk about this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the unlawful this judgment we they give about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Drop your thought at the comment section. Don't forget to share this video to everyone on every social media platform. And don't forget to click the subscribe button for more updates.